Doge claimed it saved $8 billion in one contract. It was actually $8 million. We got the accidental firing of the National Nuclear Security Agency. Turns out they accidentally put the names of hundreds of CIA officers in an unclassified email.
Let's hop into a wonderful Rachel Maddow takedown of how massive a failure this second Trump administration has been, not even 100 days in, and what that could signal for Americans going forward. So if you can, as always, leave us a like on the video. Start out with that. It helps us out a bunch. And let's get right into this with some context needed.
He sent out a White House memo ordering the freezing of all federal funding, all federal grants. And then less than 48 hours, oops, had to take that back. Headline, Trump White House rescinds memo freezing federal grants after widespread confusion and legal challenges. Quote, President Donald Trump's budget office on Wednesday rescinded a memo freezing spending on federal grants less than 2 days after it sparked widespread confusion and legal challenges across the country. White House officials goofed on the White House website. You don't see the word goofed in the Wall Street Journal all that often. White House officials goofed on the White House website and listed the wrong man in charge of the FBI, people familiar with the matter said. Instead of correcting the error, White House officials let it stand. And the two men traded temporary titles.
And we're going to continue to walk through these. There's plenty of them, trust me. But as we do, I really need you to remember how MAGA told us that Biden had the DEI cabinet and they were unqualified and incompetent. So we can really see how hilarious it is as they now will inevitably defend the second Trump term where the historically undiverse cabinet headed by the 34-count felon continuously does the most avoidable, ignorant, incompetent things we've ever seen at this level. And this is all without even discussing the corruption they're engaging in. I think they vindicated DEI more than the left ever could.
Turns out they accidentally put the names of hundreds of CIA officers in an unclassified email and sent it to the White House, where things like that just kind of happen now. That same day, we learned that Trump has accidentally made it impossible for the Postal Service to accept mail from China. Oops. Trump made an announcement about shipping things from China. He had no idea, apparently, what the implications of that announcement would be. But then the post office announced, based on what you said, sir, this means America can no longer receive mail from China. And, well, I'm not exactly sure what he did mean, but that wasn't what he meant. So, oops, that had to be reversed, too. By then, the president's top campaign donor was working his bizarre magic in Washington, so we got the accidental firing of the National Nuclear Security Agency, which handles the safe transportation, storage, assembly, and dismantling of our nation's nuclear weapons. Oops.
And you can't literally write this any better if you tried, as they are trying to sell the whole government efficiency lie as a way to target social programs like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. They literally were the definition of inefficient, where we have to stress this is happening as the power of the government is being shrunk. It's being consolidated around one man, one office. Mass government layoffs are happening. Agencies are being defunded and closed like never before. We're seeing Trump institute small government, and we now have a real-world example in America of how incompetent and corrupt it is ripe to be small government and how a massive failure it is. It's a massive failure. We see this and we should always lean away from it because of that. Thank you, Trump, again, vindicating the left more than we ever could.
Doge claimed it saved $8 billion in one contract. It was actually $8 million. So that's cool. They were off by roughly 100,000%. But, you know, don't forget, these are the smart guys, smart kids. Next day, headline, Agriculture Department tries to rehire fired workers tied to bird flu response. Oops, we accidentally fired all the bird flu people in the middle of the bird flu. Oops, can we get them back? No, we can't. That same day. Headline, Trump administration reverses plan to end free COVID test program. The taxpayers bought all these COVID tests, perfectly good COVID tests. They're still COVID. People are still testing for COVID to see if they have COVID. But because the Trump administration doesn't like COVID, they're going to what? incinerate millions of tests?
And let's be all the way clear here. This is why politics should not control or be involved in everything or nearly anything outside of the social or economic issues it directly pertains to. But we're here because MAGA had to bring it here to resurrect the dying embers of their party because Republicans had long been losing on the policy front, right? And Trump realized, if I focus on cultural issues, this opens a whole new constituency of bigots, whether it be an underlying racial precedence, maybe a fear of immigrants, misogyny, homophobia, and he taps into that and is able to then rise to the mantle of power from it. And we're seeing real world implications in the things that would probably get most people elected now being destroyed because he doesn't even know or care to focus on those. Medical funding being slashed, the Trump admin is violating constitutional principles. And this is all while messing up, again, the most menial task that we've never even had to discuss an administration messing up, all because they want to partisanly frame everything they can for the next 4 years rather than try to give the best service for Americans or following and trusting the experts. But all of a sudden it's like, no, that's political. Facts have a liberal bias.